Hey, what's happening, y'all? How y'all doing? How you feeling? How you been? How you been doing? How you gonna do? What's up with you? All that. It's me, and it's Sunday. I'm here. You're here. Welcome to another episode of Messages in the Madness with yours truly. This guy, Vernon Longhorn Davis. Hope everybody's doing well. Hope everybody's doing great. I'm not gonna lie to y'all. I have had the longest week. I mean, I have been going. I literally been gone 7 days, 5 days for work, did a show Friday night, did a show Saturday night, and then drove back home today. But I'm here for y'all. Yes, well, I'm here for me too. So, like I said, I hope everybody had a great week, a great day, and I hope you got a great week planned because guess what? It's all about the planning. Nothing happens without planning. Nothing happens without thinking about it or putting it together or sorting it out flying by the seat of your pants. Yeah. Anyway, so looking by magic mirror, I got people speaking to me already. Hey, Miss Coley, good to see you. Hey, Mr. Net, good to see you. Hey, Miss Anna, sorry I missed you guys this weekend. I was in Junction City. That's why I'm rocking my sweatshirt. Yes, we did. Let's see. Hey, Miss Coley, baby sis, glad to see you. Yes, I am. Hope your date went really, really well. You say you was wondering where I was at. I'm here. I'm here. Maybe your clock just wrong out there in DC. Y'all got that DC time going on out there. So anyway, guys, make sure you like or love the message, share the message if you will. Miss Coley, just for you, the name of the message tonight is Everything Has a Process. The importance of processes in our lives, but everything has a process. Hey, Miss Charlotte, good to see you. Special shout out and prayers for my dude, Will C. He's going through some things, and commander of my I know I don't normally do this, but my commander for my American Legion post host Jesus, prayers for them. If y'all would keep them in your prayers, I'd greatly appreciate it. Yeah, you gotta get that Barry White voice. That's right. So, like I said, had a great week though. It was a fabulous, fabulous week. But let's get into the message tonight, y'all. So for those of y'all watching around the way, because like I said, we're on YouTube, Facebook, and LinkedIn. This is Messages in the Madness. I'm your host, Vernon Longhorn Davis, and I welcome y'all to tonight. Tonight I want to talk about okay, thank you, Miss Cohen. Tonight I want to talk about something that we all deal with. Everybody deals with. We often take it for granted. It's the importance of processes in our lives. I'm calling this talk Everything Has a Process. So because it does, just like tonight, getting ready for the show, it's a process. I don't just walk in and sit down, turn on the camera and go, okay, let's do this thing. I've tried that a few times, and some of y'all liked it when I talked off the top of my head, but then I find I do better when I have notes because otherwise I tend to ramble. Process. Process. Hey, Annette, good to see you. Now, when I say processes, I'm not talking about complicated procedures or technical steps. I'm talking about the steps we take every day through life. Just the day-to-day common every things that we have to do. Everything. I mean, everything has a process, whether we realize it or not. And whether you like it or not, everything has a process. We are constantly moving through processes, both big and small. So tonight we're going to break it down a bit and see why these processes are so important to us. And not just to us, but those that are around us. So think about something for a minute. Any coffee drinkers, hit a like or love if you're a coffee drinker. Yeah, I love my coffee. I do. And some of the processes that generate our day to day are very small, simple processes. Think about it. Like for instance, getting up. You wake up, maybe you stretch a little bit. I know I do. Brush your teeth, all of them. Take a shower, you know, grab some coffee, maybe some breakfast if you're lucky, and then head out the door. If you're retired, you get up, you don't have to head out the door. But it's a process. These are all steps in your morning process. It's probably so second nature that you don't even think about it. You just do it. You don't even realize how important these steps are to start your day. Hey, Miss Robbie, thanks for stopping by. Now imagine skipping a step. Just skip one step in your process in the morning. Let's say you forget to brush your teeth. You might not notice it at first. You're like, oh, okay, I forgot to brush my teeth. But I gotta go. And you're gone. But halfway through your day, yeah, you start, oh, okay, that is me. You start feeling a little self-conscious. Yeah, maybe you start keeping your distance from people. They right there, you talking to them from over here because you trying to keep all this here up in here. And you talk less when your breath is funky. You ever notice that you talk funky? You talk less when your breath is funky. Uh, Papa doing the show. Hi, little girl. Say hi. Hi, Papa doing his show. I gotta call you back, baby. Bye bye. Love you. I love you too. Bye bye. Sorry about that. 2-year-old has learned how to use her daddy's phone. So, process. She's learned the process. But getting back to it, yeah, you keep your distance, you talk less, or you start eating them Tic Tacs like they going out of style. Uh, Baby sis says hibiscus tea or dandelion root drink over here. Okay, you into that foo stuff? All right, cool. But just that simple step of not brushing your teeth, that's a small process, a small piece of your process that actually gives you confidence throughout your day. But by taking that out, that one small piece kind of changes the rhythm of your day. Or imagine, like I say, I drink coffee, trying to brew coffee without putting water in the coffee maker. I've done it a number of times. I've done it a number of times where I've put my little K cup pod in there, put my cup down, hit the button, walked off. No water in the tank. What do I got to do? I got to go back and do it all over again. That's because even something as simple as making a cup of coffee has a process that needs to be followed to get the desired outcome. You can't, I mean, seriously, this has to be done in order to get to where you're going. Now, I'm going to press on with this because this really does matter. So, why does it matter? Why does processes matter? Well, they give us structure. And that structure provides us a level of predictability and control in our lives. When you have a process, you know what comes next. You know what you're doing. You know what to expect. Just like me, this past week, I packed up this, and this. But then I had to add something else to what I normally pack. And what I do, I ended up forgetting. Uh, I forgot to take a very important piece with me because I broke my process. Hey, cousin Barbara. So those processes are important. And sometimes when you get out of line, when you don't read them instructions, when you don't follow them instructions, the instructions that you created for you throw yourself off. So in a world where so much can feel unpredictable or chaotic, which it often does, processes are like an anchor. They give us a sense of stability. Even when life throws us curveballs, having a process in place helps us navigate those challenges with a clear head. It's like having a map, it's like having a map in uncharted territory. Like today, for instance, today I was driving back home. I noticed my truck was driving. I was driving back home from Junction City. My truck started acting funny. I followed my process. First thing I did was look out the window. Hey, baby girl. Pumpkin Princess. I looked out the window and I could see smoke coming from the back of my Navigator. Okay. Didn't panic. Second thing I did was flip the switch to check the temperature on my transmission. It had hit a high number. I'm like, okay. So then, I looked, put on my turn signal, pulled over to the side, put on my emergency signals, process. Instead of, my transmission's on fire. No, I followed the processes. Fortunately, I didn't need a tow truck because it cooled down. I got it to the dealership. I dropped it off, and I'll drive my other car this week while they check that out. But that was a curveball life threw me today. Am I worried? No, because there's a process. I'm going to drop it off. They're going to check it out. They're going to let me know what it is. They're going to let me know how much it's going to cost to fix. Process, steps, okay? Curveballs. Think about a time in your life when you felt completely overwhelmed. Maybe it was a project at work or a driving down the highway situation, a personal situation, or a health issue. What eventually helped you get through it? Chances are you broke it down into smaller steps, a process to make it manageable. Like I often say, uh, you can cook the whole rib, but you can only eat one bone at a time. And that's real. We live in a world of instant gratification. We want everything now, our food, our answers, our success. But here's the truth, real lasting results come from trusting the process. What's up, brother Jordan? Young brother Jordan, my nephew right there. Good to see you still doing everything. Yes, sir. I'm going to read that part again. We want everything now, our food, our answers, our success. Well, I guess y'all could tell, I got the invitation to the Diddy party, but I didn't go because I didn't want that instant success. Um, but here's the truth. You got to work for it. There is a process, and you have to trust the process. There are no shortcuts. Look at anyone who has achieved something significant, and I guarantee you they didn't get there overnight. Whether it's a professional athlete, a successful comedian, a successful business owner, or even someone recovering from a tough personal struggle. They all had to follow a process. People who are going through medical challenges, you have to follow a process. To be a successful comedian, I consider myself a successful comedian, and I had to follow a process. We show up. They showed up every day and did the work. And sometimes that process is slow, but it's steady and is what builds real change, what builds real success, what makes it worth it, what makes it last is because it was built on something solid. I know we all wish we could just, snap our fingers and have everything fall into place. Bloop, 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 bloop. But skipping those steps in the process will eventually catch up to you. It always does. It's like trying to build a house without laying the foundation. Yeah, the house is going to look great. Yeah, for a while, it's going to look great. But eventually, that house is going to crumble. It's going to fall apart. You cannot build a house on sand. Sand is quick and easy. Concrete takes a minute. Hey, baby K, good to see you. So, looking back on your processes, it's not just about following processes in the moment. Sometimes, maybe, it's about looking back at the processes you've gone through to appreciate how far you have come. Learning from where we have been is so important. I know they say you shouldn't look back, But sometimes we need to remember where we came from and appreciate where we are. Let's be real. Life is hard. Hey, my buddy, Tommy boy, good to see you. All's well over there. I mean, all's well in America. Hope everything's good for you in Scotland. But yeah, life is hard. We all go through struggles, setbacks, challenges. Told you about my challenge today. But every single one of those moments is a part of a larger process. Yeah, every one of them. If you take a step back and reflect, you'll see that even the most difficult times had a process. Maybe it didn't make sense when you were in the middle of it, but looking back, you can often see it. You can see it. You can see the lessons you learned or the growth that came from it. It's a process. There's a reason why Alcoholics Anonymous or NA has a 12-step process. Everything has steps. Stapler. How do I load it? I got to open it up. I got to do this. I got to do that. I got to put the staples in. I got to close it up and pray that it works. Process. Cousin Barbara said, today I lost my best friend, my partner. Oh, Lord, have mercy. I am so sorry. You lost your husband today, Barbara? We will keep you in our prayer. Barbara, I am so sorry. God bless you, Barbara. Well, okay. I'm sorry. I had to take a breath there. I just looked over and saw that, Barbara. So, but I got to finish my message. If you take a step back and reflect, you'll see that everything, even the most, I'm sorry, it just kind of hit me kind of hard because I've met your husband, Barbara. If you take a step back and reflect, you'll see that even the most difficult times have a process, or they had a process. Maybe it didn't make sense when you were in the middle of it, but looking back, you can often see the lessons you've learned or the growth that came from it. You know, sharing a little bit about me, and I know some people say I share too much about me, but guess what? I'm just being honest and open. But sharing a little bit about my own journey, as many of y'all know, I'm a veteran suicide prevention advocate. That wasn't something that just happened overnight. I went through my own dark times, my own dark situations, times when I didn't see a way out. But step by step, I started working through it. It was a process. And eventually, that process led me to my purpose, helping others who are going through similar struggles. Being able to say, hey, man, been there, did that. Y'all looking at a man that 15 years ago lost everything. I can say it out loud. 30 years, this past week, I went and sat on the bench that I had planned. I had planned a process to end my own life on. And I put the video up. I sat on that bench while they moved it from where it was over to another spot away from the street. It was too close to the street. But I went and sat on that bench. But I had a process that I was going to go through. And I'm glad I failed at that process. But if I had given up on that process, or I'm glad that I did give up on that process, or somebody else intervened on my process, or somebody helped me see the flaw in my plan, I wouldn't be here today talking to y'all. It's not easy and it doesn't always make sense in the moment, but trust in the process of what gets you through tough times. It does. So let's talk about another area where processes play a huge role: relationships. Whether it's a friendship, a romantic relationship, or even a professional one, all relationships have a process. You don't just become friends with someone overnight. It takes time, trust, and shared experiences to build that bond. It does. Think about the processes of falling in love. You didn't just fall in love overnight. At first, it's all excitement and butterflies, right? It's like, ooh, and little cute names and all that. But real love, the kind that lasts, the kind that works, it's a process of learning each other, making compromises, and growing together. Skipping steps in that process, like not communicating properly or rushing through important conversations, can lead to misunderstandings and even resentment. Yeah. Um, Baby sister says, it's like me dealing with alopecia. I've been doing a process for the past couple of months, and it's amazing how fuller my hair is, stays hydrated, and has finally started growing in areas that were almost to the scalp. I smile big, seeing the difference sticking to and trusting the process can make. There's a testimony right there. We're all so glad you didn't follow through with that process either. Well, thank you. Thank you, baby sis. Because I would have missed a lot. Yeah, I would have missed a lot. So, even in our professional lives, in our professional settings, relationships are built on processes. Think about how you've developed trust with your colleagues over the years. It's a process. It's all a process. The process of showing up, delivering, doing what you say you're gonna do, delivering on your promises, being where you're supposed to be at and doing what you're supposed to do, and communicating effectively. Process. Without that process, you wouldn't have the strong relationship that help you succeed at work. And what do we do with people that don't help us in the process? We promote them to customer. They're no longer we remove them from the process. Tommy says the world is a better place with you in it, my friend. You remind me so much of Ron. He was my brother from another mother. Thank you, Tommy. I was thinking about him today. Well, I think about him quite often. So thank you for that, man. That is a very huge compliment to me. Now, I'd be doing y'all a disservice if I didn't talk about failure. Failure in this discussion of processes. Here's the thing. I kind of sound like Kamala saying that. And here's the thing. Failure is part of the process, period. And it's not something to be feared or avoided. In fact, failure is often the best teacher we have. Failure is the best teacher. It's often the best teacher. When you fail at something, it forces you to go back and reevaluate your process. Maybe you missed a step, or maybe there was a better way to approach it. But without that failure, you wouldn't have the chance to refine your processes and come out stronger on the other side. For instance, I failed basic training. I failed one step, reassembling the M16. I had practiced that so many times, and that was my one weak spot was the M16. But I had practiced it so many times, I had it down pat. The pieces and the da da da. I could blindfold myself and put the pieces back together. But when I choked. When it came time to do it for time, I choked. And the man looked me in my drill sergeant looked me in my face and said, Davis, you have failed basic training. You will be recycled. Oh, man, I was devastated. And I went back over the process over and over and over in my head. And then, I wasn't worried about being recycled. Okay, man, if that's what it is, that's what it is. But fortunately, at the end of the class, they let me do it again, and I did it better than I had did it before. It wasn't so much pressure, but it was the process, and I had failed. Think about the last time you failed at something. It probably didn't feel good in the moment, but I bet you learned something valuable from it. And that lesson became part of your process moving forward. I hope it did. So don't be afraid of failure. Some people won't try because they're afraid to fail. Some people fail before they even try because they talk themselves out of even trying. Failure is just another step in the process of growth. You got to take the step. So, love soldier steaks. Yep. So here's where I want to leave you tonight. Here's what I want to leave you with tonight. Embrace the process. Embrace your processes. Whether you're working on a big goal, navigating a very difficult relationship, maybe you're navigating a very difficult situation. Cousin Barbara, I am so sorry. I truly am. The Messages family, we're sorry. We're very, very, very sorry for the loss of your husband. So some people are navigating tough relationships, tough situations, are just trying to get through the day to day. Remember that everything has a process. Don't rush it. Don't rush the process. Don't skip a step. Don't try to skip to the front of the line. It's not meant for you to be there yet. Yet. It is what it is. Or is it? You got to follow the steps. And most importantly, trust that process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Trust the process. Because it will get you where you need to go. So that's my message. Tommy Boy says failure's part of growing. You learn from your mistakes. It's called life. I'm still making mistakes, but learning, my friend. And you know what? I salute you for it. I salute you for being able to admit it. Because, see, that's another thing. Maybe we'll do a show about that. Sometimes we're so prideful that we don't want to admit that we've made some mistakes, that we did not follow the steps in the process. It makes a difference. You ever make a cake and the box is 2 eggs, but you put 1? What happens? Exactly. You're taking out the trash and you don't put a trash bag back into the trash can. What happens when you start dropping stuff in there? Now you got to go and dump the trash again and then clean out the trash can and then put a bag in it instead of following the process of taking out the bag, closing that one up, putting a new bag in, and then take the old bag out to the trash can. Process. Annette says, "So glad you are here for all of you. Barbara, may God, Lord Jesus Christ, hold you in the palm of His hand." I agree, and I say, Amen. So I'm gonna do something I've never done on this show before. Barbara, give me a thumbs up and let me know that you're still listening. Just say okay if you're still watching the show. Can you do that for me? So, family, we gonna virtually touch hands, grab hands, and I'm actually gonna pray for Barbara. Some of y'all did not know that I'm an ordained minister. So, whether I am or not, I'm still gonna pray for her. Father God, we thank you and praise you for all that you are, all that you have been, and all that you will be. We thank you for everything love, life, and liberty. We thank you for each other. We praise you and appreciate you. Tonight, our sister Barbara, our family member Barbara, is going through some stress, some grief, some hurt, some pain, some numbness that she's never felt before because you have called her partner of 30 years home to be with you. We're going to ask that you bless and keep and protect and uplift and hold in your hand our sister Barbara. Not just our sister Barbara, but her family. Keep them and bless them as they go through this hard and difficult time. Show them that their loved one, the love that he left, is still with them. The physical is gone, but now his spirit gets to surround them all and carry and protect. I know it's not the same as having them right there with you, but your will is your way. We may not understand it, we may not want it, but it is your way. Lord, uplift this family, keep this family, bless this family today and always. Amen. Brother Terry, good to see you, man. So, thank y'all for joining us tonight for Messages in the Madness. Remember, life is a process, but every step you take is leading you somewhere. Stay patient, stay committed, and keep moving forward. Until next Sunday, I am Vernon Longhorn Davis, and again, this is Messages in the Madness. Love yourself, respect yourself, take care of yourself, respect the community, take care of our kids, respect our vets, respect our vets. God bless y'all. $2.